Hi, everybody, and welcome to the second season of Kuzi Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Kuzai Mashaya, and I'm so excited to begin this new season. We're kicking it off with my very good friend who is also a med student, and we're going to be talking about self care from a guy's perspective because I think that most of the time when we hear people talk about self care, it's from a girl. So I think it's interesting that we get to hear his perspective because I think it's important, right? Self-care is real. We need to take care of our bodies because they work for us and our minds as well. All right, let's get into it. Prince, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Kuza. It's nice to be here.
Yay, I'm so happy to have you. Did I mention you're my good friend? Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, people.
I know I am a very great friend of yours.
Yeah? All right. How do you feel about us talking about self-care today? Because you're a guy. Does it make you feel some type of way or are you excited?
You know that I am particular about these things because I think it's homophobic. but I do think these are things that have to be talked about because, like I said, most males have associated things like this, like self-care, as a female thing, but
Yeah.
we also need to appreciate that it can actually better our mental health and things like that.
Yeah. You know, Prince, I don't know if you remember this conversation that we had one day. I was telling you that I had a headache because we had tests that week and I had not been sleeping well. And you just randomly said that, Kudzai, do you know that people spend most of their time trying to find money at the expense of their health? And then they spend the money trying to get back their health. And I was like, what? How did you even think of that? What? Huh? That was so deep to me. So can you try to like explain sort of, or maybe let's start with you defining what self-care is to you and why it's so important.
Basically, what I think self-care is for me personally is the things that I do that keep me from going insane.
Yeah.
Because we go through a lot.
Yeah, we
As
do.
medical students, there is just a lot and you can't handle it
Yeah.
all by yourself without extracurricular things that you do to keep your mind off things. So that's basically what I think
Okay.
self-care is.
Yeah. I love that. Do you think guys take it differently? Because I think I said this in the intro that most of the times I have heard self-care being talked about, it was a girl or women. So do you think that guys see it differently or maybe it's not even a thing in the guy world?
Oh, I think they do because when most people hear self-care, they think taking care of my skin, taking care of what, and I think that's why they associate it with being homophobic
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But self-care doesn't necessarily mean that. It means the things that you do to keep your mind distracted, that excite you.
Yeah.
Not just the things that you do to your skin, the things that you, yeah. So I just think males have a different perspective of what self-care is than females. They might even be doing self-care without even realizing that they are doing self-care. So
Yeah.
we do perceive it differently than you guys do.
Okay. All right. So, Prince, would you share some of the activities that you do, maybe in your daily life, to make sure that your mind is in check, or your body, or just taking care of yourself? What are some activities, other things that you do?
So let me tell you a story.
Okay. Yeah.
In A level, I was in the middle of my exams, and that's when actually I realized that this is a very important thing to me because it took my mind off it.
Yeah.
I started watching a new anime,
Okay.
and it's called Black Clover. Like, it has 175 episodes.
And you watch them all?
And I watched them all in that weekend. I did not even study. I started
Okay.
studying the night that I finished that anime. And it came with a sort of relief, a sort of outlet that I was bottling up all this, what has been happening, and I couldn't even study. What I was studying, I couldn't understand. But after I was finished with this, I took a little rest. And then once I started studying, I started understanding what I was studying. So this outlet, it's one of the things that I realized that if I continue doing this, it might be actually beneficial for me. I know most people will probably argue that you're wasting your time, but is taking care of yourself actually wasting your time? If you really think about it. Because as I mentioned, people spend most of their lives trying to get money.
Yeah.
And then in the trying to get their money, they may acquire diseases, they might neglect their bodies, and there are chronic diseases which accumulate over time. And as you try to get the money, you're actually accumulating a lot of stress, a lot of fatigue, which will manifest later. So now you have the money, but now you have to start taking care of yourself, which you neglected in your early years. Now you're spending that money that you got when you're growing up, when you're trying to get the money. So at the end of the day, work done is zero.
So what you're saying is watch anime? Are you telling people to watch anime?
No, I'm not necessarily saying watch anime. Like, people are different, but me personally, I just find solace in watching anime.
Okay, I mean that's interesting. Okay, watch anime, people.
I've been trying to get you to watch anime.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I don't think it's going to happen.
Fine.
Yeah. Well, another question. Is anime the only thing that you do to take care of yourself? Because I mean, you're a sleeper. You sleep a lot. I mean, I've asked you a few times why you're late for class, and the reason is you were sleeping. So is that not something else that you do?
So it's not necessarily just anime. Of course, anime is the main thing, but sleep is a very important thing, and I do not play with my sleep. If you call me and disturb my sleep, I will get mad at you the entire day. If you wake me up before my 8 hours of sleep are done, I will be mad at you the entire day.
Okay.
So one of the things that are my sleep, please do not disturb my sleep.
Okay, Prince.
Because I can't even concentrate in class when I do not get my sleep. So 8 hours of sleep, it's very important for your health and for your everything, actually. Because let's say you stayed up late studying, and then you go to class tomorrow. You woke up early, you go to class, and then in class you start sleeping. At the end of the day, you're doing nothing, because actually it has been proven that what you listen when the lecturer is actually teaching is what will stick to you. And actually, in the exams, the lecturer usually bring what they taught. So at the end of the day, you're doing nothing. So actually, prioritize your sleep. And also, sleep aside, I think it's important to take care of your body. It's not even about bodybuilding or other things that people work out for. But it's just good for your metabolism and things like that, because just staying fit is just important for you, because it prevents you from so many diseases. So me personally, every time before I sleep, I make sure that I do a small workout routine so that I just keep my body fit. Yeah, and I know most people who will believe it, but I actually do.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. So as we go for clinicals, I know we're in the same class, but what advice would you give to?
I have another thing that I wanted to get.
Yeah, you can tell me.
So what's your own self-care? I believe when you're learning public health, we learn that people actually get stressed out, or can actually develop mental health from when they feel like they are a sense of alienation from God. So one of the things that I actually do is, I know people will never believe this, but I actually do. Before I sleep, I read my Bible. And then I reflect on it. Because one of the things that I believe is very, very important is a relationship with God. And the relationship with God, every time that you might be feeling lonely, you might be feeling alienated, you just spend time with God. Like, you feel a certain way of achievement, a certain way that the stress that was upon you is alleviated. So before I sleep, I read my Bible and I journal the things that I want. And
you journal?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Actually, a friend of mine actually bought me a journal on my birthday. So that's when I actually started. So it's a recent thing. Most men do not journal. It's a taboo.
That's a surprise to me, but that's cool.
So that I don't feel that certain alienation that comes with not being closer with God. I actually do spend my time with God every night, actually.
Wow.
So
Thank you, Prince, for sharing. Thank you. I think people are going to learn a lot from what you just said, and pick up a few nuggets of wisdom.
Well, that's the purpose of all of this, so that people can learn.
Exactly. So, Prince, we're going to clinical rotations, and we'll be, working and we'll be junior doctors, right? So what's your advice for just your classmates? I know we're in the same class. I know. But what's just something you tell them as we go concerning self-care and still caring for other people?
Personally, from the various friends that I have that are at clinicals, they've been telling me that it's going to be fireworks.
Okay.
And I'm very anxious about it. So I'm not gonna lie, I am very anxious. But they have given me a few tips or two. Have your information on hand.
Okay.
Like, study.
Okay. Okay.
Or else it's going to be hard for you, because apparently the consultants are not friendly, and they will grill you and you feel like killing yourself.
Yeah.
So just to prevent that from happening, so that it doesn't affect your mental health, just spend time in studying, spend time in learning, and not just learn to write and pass exams. Learn to understand. There is that thing we say, study smart, not hard.
Okay.
Yeah, I know one of our lecturers said study hard and smart, but I will still stand with study smart, not hard. Studying smart is actually knowing what's going to, what being at clinicals entails. So doing your research right now, because most of I know most medical students, they are very lazy sometimes. So they want to study what will be coming in an exam, but I just encourage them, as we're about to go for clinicals, know what's there, and just be prepared. And also our school, it offer, the dean said they can give you a pass where you can actually go and feel the environment, so that when you actually go there, you're not as stressed as you initially be if you go unprepared.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I would advise them to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Prince. Okay, my last question. Generally now, speaking to any guy out there or girl even, what's your advice to someone who thinks, you know what, I think self-care, I think this is for guys. What's your advice to a guy out there who thinks, you know what, oh, that self-care thing, it's just for girls, or I don't know, it's not my thing, I don't care about that, I don't care about finding time to myself, eating well, exercising, what's the point? What's your advice to that person?
Well, I'm one person who actually indulges in a lot of research, and I might look lazy, but I actually do. So there's a study which says, I'm not sure which study it is, but when I will look for it and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Males who embrace their feminine side,
yeah,
they suffer less mental health than those who do, because nowadays there's these content creators, alpha male, what, but those people, they only show the side that they are already successful. They don't show you what they did to get to where they are. They did. The world is not a very nice place for males.
Yeah.
And it's a cruel reality that I am beginning to realize as I grow, because you have to be financially stable for this world to actually accept you as a man. So I think as a man, you need to have certain things that can distract you from the reality of the world, that can actually stress your mental health, because mental health is more apparent in males than females, but it's not recorded because males are not free to talk about it as they grow about their days, because they feel it's okay. Yeah, talking about your feelings, because that's what these alpha males be telling you. Don't talk about it, don't do this, don't do that, because they feel it's a female thing to talk about your emotions. But actually talking about your emotions gives you an outlet, gives you a source where you can actually talk about. You might not get the solution, but talking about it makes you feel better. So that's embracing your feminine side. So I feel most males do not actively participate in self-care because they feel, I think just these alpha male content creators are just ruining us as males. But anyway, my main point is that being a male is not easy.
Yeah.
And it comes with a lot of stress. As I am right now, I am not even a provider yet, but I am expected to be one of these days. But I can already feel the stress that before I am even a provider. So I can only imagine what will happen when I eventually get there. And now, with a lot of competition in this field that I am in, I begin to wonder, will I even get there?
You will.
Will I even get to be financially stable to a point where I can say I am him? So that comes with a lot of stress. Hence, you need an outlet. That's where my anime personally comes in.
Okay.
So I believe it's not just me, it's every male out there, and it's a reality that they have to face one day. And I believe that's why there is a high rate of mental health issues in males. So I believe most males should have something that they do to actively participate in self-care.
Okay, I do agree with that. Yeah, I just want to add that having an outlet or something that distracts your mind from the hustle and bustle of life, that doesn't mean go out and participate in hurtful activities or I don't know, hurt the people around you or do things that will hurt you in the long run. And so I think it's important to remember that as much as you need something that is going to distract you, you still need to make good decisions and good choices.
Another thing is that I do not misquote me when I say you need to have an outlet. I see you guys. So it's an important thing to have genuine friends who truly care about you, who always check up on you. And I believe lately you've been receiving many calls from me.
Oh Lord.
Always checking up. It's a nice thing because most people might not be actually willing to open up, but when you continuously talk to them, it might eventually just come out. So always having those friends who always check up on you, genuine friends who truly care about you without ulterior motives. I think it's a necessity as you go about your journey in the medical field. Or any field per se.
True. I get that. Okay, all right. Let me tell you what I've learned from this. Firstly, have good friends who are going to check up on you. Have something that distracts your mind, something that is good that distracts your mind.
Anime.
Oh Lord. And also have a relationship with God. That's what I've learned. Okay, thank you, Prince.
Thank you, Kudzai, for having me.
Yeah, this was a good conversation.
Truly appreciate the opportunity to share.
Of course. Is there something you'd like the world to know or anybody watching?
Well,
anything
apart from watch anime, I would advise most men out there, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's not the end of the world if you're vulnerable. Vulnerability doesn't necessarily mean that people will see you less of a man. Actually, it means you are strong, being able to share your vulnerabilities. And if you share these vulnerabilities, that's where the solutions from those vulnerabilities actually come. Bottling it in will make it worse, and you eventually lead to decisions that might have been avoided. So always talk to somebody.
Yep. Thank you, Prince. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you got as many nuggets of wisdom as you could, and see you on the next episode. Yay!